Okay. So again, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We stopped last time with the prime principle that every sentence must have a subject and a verb. Okay, we said this is what all grammar is about: subject and a verb. Correct? And we said we talked about appositives. We talked about present participles, past participles, and everything that we talked about so far is simple structures. كل اللي اتكلمنا عنه so far simple structures. Simple structures يعني one subject and one verb in the whole sentence. خلاص. However, today we are going to take this level one step further, because if you, for example, in the IELTS or the TOEFL or in whatever English proficiency test you are taking, if you just keep using simple structures, whether in speaking or in writing, you will never be more than middle level, or maybe like not intermediate, before intermediate, pre-intermediate. Because one sign of being an intermediate student in English is the ability to use complex structures or compound structures. And this is what we are going to start talking about starting from today. Okay, we'll talk about complex structures and we'll talk about compound structures and how to use them correctly so that you can vary your structures. You can take your writing and speaking one step further. Okay, so the whole section is called sentences with multiple clauses. So what's a clause? Clause. قبل كده قلنا phrase. We talked about the phrase before. زي noun phrase, verb phrase, prepositional phrase, correct? Yeah, PP. Okay. دي كلها phrases. إنما clause, when we say a clause must have a noun phrase and a verb phrase. Clause must have a noun phrase and a verb phrase. So sometimes the whole sentence is one clause. For example, when you say, I am a student, for this sentence is a clause, one clause, correct? Because it has only one noun phrase and one verb phrase. مش كده؟ إنما يعني subject to verb. إنما sometimes the sentence may contain two clauses or maybe more. For example, when you say, I am a student, but I work, for example, at a restaurant, although I have money, or I don't need money. How many clauses do we have here? Can somebody count them? How many clauses do we have?
Three.
Three. And how many sentences do we have?
One sentence.
One sentence. Very true. Correct. We have three clauses. This is the first clause. I am a student. It has a subject and a verb. Second clause, I work at a restaurant, a subject and a verb. And the third clause, I do not need money. But how many sentences do we have? One sentence, because we have only one full stop. You see this full stop? This is the sign the sentence is over. So we separate between sentences with full stops or question marks or exclamation marks. This is the sign the sentence has ended. Okay? And just to make calligraphy better, the comma should be here, not this part. The comma should be here. Okay. So today we are talking. We are talking about sentences with multiple clauses, and we will keep talking about it for some time because it's a big part of grammar. Look at this sentence, for example. Tom is singing. This is again one clause, and Paul is dancing. This is another clause. It's all one sentence, correct? Tom is tall, but Paul is short. This is again one sentence, but two clauses. Okay? So the first thing we need to talk about today is coordinate connectors, or they can be called also coordinators. Coordinators are fanboys. F for for, A for and, N for nor, and B for but, O for or, Y for yet, and S for so. These vectors are called coordinators or coordinate conjunctions or coordinate connectors. Call it whatever you want. Call it fanboys. I don't care what you call it. What I care about is use them correctly. We all know and or, and I would like to stop here for some time. I'm sorry, or, because let me differentiate between two uses of and or. The one usage that you all know about. For example, I saw Ahmed and Ali. I bought oranges, apples, meat, comma, and rice. And here, or برضه يعني قلنا مثلا I don't watch, for example, movies or plays. ماشي؟ هنا and هنا in these structures, are they here coordinate connectors?
No,
No, why not?
because there is no verb or noun phrase or verb phrase after and.
هنا and هنا here and or, they connect two phrases, not two clauses. Two phrases, not two clauses. Ahmed is a noun phrase and Ali is a noun phrase. Oranges, a noun phrase. Apples, noun phrase. Meat, noun phrase. And rice, noun phrase. I don't watch movies, the noun phrase. Or plays, ده برضو ايه؟ noun phrase, مش كده؟ بس احنا what we are talking about today is connecting what? Clauses, not phrases. Okay? فأنا معلش عاوز, before we talk about clauses, I would like to talk about the correct usage of and or in these structures. In the first example, you have only two phrases, correct? Is there a comma here? Look at the commas. I would like you to pay extreme attention to commas. One thing very important here that we need to talk about and we need to master is the usage of commas. Do you see a comma in the first example? I saw Ahmed and Ali.
No,
So if we have two phrases, only two phrases, do we use a comma?
no,
No. Look at the other example. How many commas do we have?
3.
Why? Because we have three items. Okay? فكلنا عارفين, we all know that we insert a comma here, another comma here, okay? And a third comma before and. هنا بقى, this is, so many people make this mistake. This comma before and, there must be a comma here. It's called Oxford comma. This comma is called Oxford comma لأن اللي اخترع الكومة دي وحطها Oxford University, the institution that placed this comma in grammar as prescriptive grammar is Oxford University. This was, of course, more than 200 years ago or something. So do not forget the comma before the last item. The same with or, by the way. I don't watch movies, comma, plays, comma, or, for example, animations. So don't forget the comma. If we have only two items, no comma. If we have more than two items, we insert as much commas as it takes. Okay? Is it clear? Hello.
دكتور ممكن تعيد تاني الحته بتاعت الاورا نحط فيها كوما ولا لا؟
Of course, the same with and. Pretty much the same. I don't watch movies, comma, plays, comma, ads, comma, or, for example, animes. Okay, so it's pretty much the same like and. They're more or less the same. Clear?
كلير يا دكتور.
But again, I would like to stress one thing. This is not the coordinate conjunction. Coordinate conjunction must connect clauses with each other, not phrases. Okay? فنرجع تاني بقى لفان بويز حبايبنا. Let's get back again to fan boys. Okay? For and, nor, but, or, yet so. There is only one way to use them correctly. Only one way. And there is no other way. You say, for example, I was sick, comma, and I had a fever. Okay, I was sick, comma, yet I went to work. Yet means but. They are both the same. Okay. You can stay, comma, or you can leave. Look at these sentences. What do we have here? We have a subject and a verb, comma and, or comma, and the coordinate conjunction, and then a subject and a verb. Okay. So it's subject, verb, comma, connector, subject, and verb. There is no other way you can use this structure. I was sick, comma, yet I went to work. Subject, verb, comma, coordinate connection, connector, and then subject, verb. You can stay, subject, verb, comma, or you can leave. Don't forget this comma, ever, 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 ever. Okay, there is no other way you can use this structure. This is the only way you can use this structure. Okay, one thing I would like to say is for. What is the meaning of for? What is the meaning of for? The first one here of fanboys. For means more or less like because. Okay, he stayed home, comma, for he was sick. I guess you can see how examples are relevant to the current situation. Huh? He stayed home, subject, verb, comma, for, and then subject, verb. Any questions? Questions? Okay. Let's look at other examples. Tom must write the letter, or Paul will do it. Look at the comma here. Subject, verb, comma, or subject, verb. Tom told the joke, so Paul laughed. Subject, verb, comma, so subject, verb. Tom is tired, yet he is not going to sleep. Subject, verb, comma, yet subject, verb. Problem? Only one structure. There is no other structure for this. Okay, a power failure occurred, comma, space, the lamps went out. You have here subject, verb, a power failure, subject, occurred, verb, and so this is a clause, and we have comma, space, and then another clause, the lamps went out, another clause. So what do we need here? We need a coordinate connector. Okay, so which one?
So B.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay, this is the rule. As you see, subject, verb, comma, coordinate connector, subject, verb. Okay, معرفش, I don't know why the book here didn't mention 4, but I want you to add 4. Maybe 4 is a bit literary, and you will not find 4 in informal conversations. It's only in very formal conversations and literature. Okay. Okay, you have 1 minute. Just look at the questions 1 to 10. Okay, 10 seconds. Wow, Asma Sharif, you're here. I'm happy, Asma, you could make it. I'm happy, Asma, you could make it. Asma was my student like 6 years ago. Okay, that's it. That's it. Let's have a look. The software should be used. This is correct. And the computer is a laptop. Okay, another. Number 2, the rain clouds can be seen, subject verb, comma, but no has fallen. Is there we don't have a subject here. Okay, so this is incorrect. Number 3, what do you think? They're trying, subject verb, comma, it has, subject verb. Is it correct?
Incorrect.
Why? Because it doesn't have what?
Coordinate conjunction.
It doesn't have a connector. If you would like to use more than one clause, you must have a connector. The rule of thumb is that we said every sentence, subject and verb. And if you'd like to have another subject and verb, another clause, you must have a connector. So this is incorrect. How can we make it correct?
We have to add the coordinate connector.
Like what? Like so. They're trying to sell their house, comma, so it has been on the market for 2 months. Okay. Number 4, so the quality of the point was good. Aha. What do you think? Comma, I changed the typewriter.
Incorrect.
Incorrect. وده يفكرني, this reminds me of something very important يا جماعة. Very important. احنا قلنا the only way you can use this structure is like this, subject verb, comma, connector, subject verb. خلاص؟ يعني ال fanboys can never be used in any other ways. So one common mistake I always see is that people start sentences with so. Like for example, she was sick, full stop, so she stayed home. Can we do this? Can we do this? No. No. Or they start the sentence with but or and. You cannot start a sentence with fanboys. You cannot start the sentence with a coordinate conjunction. Coordinate conjunctions cannot become in the beginning of the sentence. The only way, the only position they can occur is like this, subject verb, coordinate connector. I'm sorry, subject verb, comma, coordinate connector, subject verb. This is the only way they can be used. Anything else is incorrect. So this reminds me of telling you, do not start a sentence with so. Do not start a sentence with and. Do not start this with but or. Okay? Do we all get it? Because I always see this error in IELTS writing and TOEFL writing. Lifeguard will warn you about the riptides. So subject verb. Or she may require you to get out. What do you think?
Correct.
You should have finished the work yesterday. Yet it is not. Yet is not close. What do you think?
Incorrect.
Incorrect. It should be yet it is not. Number 7, the phone rang again and again. So the receptionist was not able.
Correct.
The missing wallet was found, but the cash and the credit cards had been removed.
Correct.
This is Ahmed Hassan. This is Ahmed.
Karim Hassan.
Karim Hassan. Yes, thank you very much, Karim. I want more participants to participate and let me hear your voice. Number 9, or you can drive. What do you think?
Incorrect.
Incorrect. Why? Because this sentence starts with a coordinate connector. The chemist was awarded the Nobel Prize, yet, he flew to Europe to accept it.
Incorrect.
How can we make it correct? So, okay. He saw, he flew. Correct. Very true. Okay. And of course, another mistake I always see is that people capitalize letters after the commas, do not capitalize and, or, but, yet, so after the comma. Generally speaking, after the commas, letters are not capitalized. Okay, is it clear? Now, the other type of connectors are called subordinate connectors. The ones we were talking about were called coordinate connectors. The other type of connectors that we are going to talk about are called subordinate connectors or subordinators. Okay, or they can be called also adverbs of time and I don't know, place or cause and whatever. One thing, yes, before we move on, the sentences with fanboys, في معلومة بس صغيرة, there is just a little piece of information. Sentences with fanboys are called, this is a little, not very important, but you need to know it, compound structures. Before we move on, sentences with fanboys are called compound structures. So when you say, for example, I saw Ahmed, I'm sorry, I was sick, so I stayed home. This is called a compound structure. When you say I was sick, yet I went to work, this is called a compound structure. Is it clear? Hello? Is it clear? Type.
Yes.
Sentences with subordinate connectors are called complex structures. Why am I telling you this information? Because in the IELTS writing or in the TOEFL writing, in the IELTS speaking or in the TOEFL speaking, in any English proficiency test, we look at your structures. Are they all simple or do they have also compound and complex structures? You must have compound structures and you must have complex structures. You must have all kinds of structures. Okay, you must have some complex structures in your writing and your speaking. And you must have some complex structures in your writing and your speaking. Complex structures are a bit different from compound structures. Why? Because they can have two shapes. For example, you can say, after I work, I will go home. We have here connector, subject verb, subject verb. This is one structure. Connector, subject verb, subject verb. This is one structure. The same sentence can take another form. Can be I will go home after I work. So here we have subject verb, connector, subject verb. Do we have a comma here in the other one? Can you see a comma in the other one? In the other sentence?
No.
No. Could you locate the comma in the first sentence?
Comma we cannot remove in the first sentence.
In the first sentence, you must have a comma in the beginning. I'm sorry, in the middle. Before the second clause, you must have a comma. Okay, but in the other sentence, because the connector is already in the middle to separate between the two clauses, you do not insert a comma. And this is one mistake I always see. I always see this mistake. I always see people insert a comma when the connector is in the middle. Don't ever insert a comma when the connector is in the middle. I always see people make this mistake. Okay? Don't ever make this mistake. Don't ever insert a comma if the connector is in the middle. Okay? Look here, for example, I will sign the check before you leave. Here it comes in the middle, so no need for a comma. Subject, verb, connector, subject, verb. And in the other one, before you leave, comma, I will sign the check. Connector, subject, verb, comma, subject, verb. Here. Now I want you to answer this question. Blah, blah, blah was late, comma, I missed the appointment. So what do we have here? We have here a verb phrase, and we have a comma, and a subject and a verb. We have another clause. So basically, this verb phrase needs a noun phrase. So before the verb phrase, we are looking for something with a noun phrase, correct? And because we have a comma and another subject verb, we need a subordinate connector. Okay, so we need here a subordinate connector plus a noun phrase. So what do you think the answer is like? Since he was late, I missed the appointment. Thank you very much. Problems? Questions?
No.
Okay. This is a very good table made by Deborah Phillips to show kinds of subordinate connectors or adverbs of time and phrase. Of time and cause, like after, as means because, as long as you love me, you'll know it. As soon as I arrive, I will go home. Before, by the time, once means like if, since, until, when, whenever, while. They all indicate time. Cause, as, because, in as much as. Look at this one. Not many people know this connector. Not so many people know this connector. In as much as. I want you to focus. In as much is one word. It's one word. Okay. As is the second word, and it's commonly used in English, by the way. But I don't know why so many Arabs don't know it. I can say, for example, as much. In as much as you studied, you will pass. Because you studied, you will pass. Okay. In as much, it's like this. In as much, one word, no space, and as is the other word. Okay. Now that a good connector, again, it's hardly ever used by Arabs. And this is how it is used: subject, verb, adverb, connector. Subject, verb, adverb, connector, subject, verb, or adverb, connector, subject, verb, comma, subject. Here, any questions so far? Is here? Do you think anything needs discussion or something?
No, it's clear.
Okay, I want you now to look at questions 1 to 10. You have exactly 1 minute. Okay. Okay. Number 3, the citizens are becoming more and more incensed about traffic accidents whenever the accidents occur at the intersection. What do you think?
Correct.
Correct.
Correct. And the ground had been prepared, so seedling were carefully planted. I'm sorry, there is no so. What do you think here?
Incorrect.
Incorrect. No connector. We can start the conference now that all the participants have arrived. What do you think?
Correct.
Correct. Could you give me a minute? I need a minute. I'm sorry. I'll be right back in a minute. I will just pause. Hold a second. Pause. Okay, here we are again. Okay, the building quite vulnerable. What do you think to danger until the storm windows are installed? What do you think? Hello?
Correct.
Can somebody try again?
Incorrect, because the first clause not have.
Yeah, it's incorrect because the first clause doesn't have a verb. The building is quite vulnerable to damage until the storm windows are installed. Right? Number 7, once the address label for the package is typed, comma, can be sent. What do you think?
Incorrect, because second clause not have.
Correct.
I'm sorry. What did the young lady said? What did the young lady say? Okay, it's incorrect because it doesn't have here a subject. It can be sent. Okay, so it's incorrect. It can be sent. Okay, number 8, because the recent change in work shifts was not posted, comma, several workers missed their shifts. What do you think?
Correct.
Correct. The mother is going to be quite upset with her son as long as he misbehaves so much.
Correct.
Correct.
Good. In as much as all the votes have not yet been counted, the outcome of the election, I don't know what, cannot be announced. What do you think?
It's incorrect because we don't have a comma after the before the outcome. We need
Thank you very
comma
much.
before.
Thank you. Thank you. So it's incorrect, and we must have a comma here of the election has not been counted, comma here the outcome of the election cannot be announced. Thank you very much. Okay, so here use other adverb connectors correctly. We have so many other adverb connectors or subordinate connectors, like what? Like these ones to show condition, for example, if, in case, provided, providing, unless, whether. And I would like to stress that provided and providing are rarely ever used, but they are very good connectors, and you can use them in IELTS speaking and writing, by the way, instead of if, which is going to make your writing or speaking better. Although, even though, while, whereas, show contrast, they all have the same meaning, more or less. Manner, as, and in that, place, where, wherever. Okay, and they are used more or less the same way, no difference whatsoever. Like subject verb, connector, subject verb, or connector, subject verb, comma, subject verb. Problem? Look at the sentence here, for example. You will get a good grade on the exam provided. Provided means if. Right? Provided what? What do we need after provided? We need the subject and the verb.
You study.
You study. Thank you very much. Any questions so far? Okay. Any questions? Okay, you have 1 minute
No.
to answer these 10 questions. Exactly 1 minute. 10 seconds. Okay, let's do it together. No one is admitted to the academy unless he or she the education requirements.
Incorrect, because second clause not have a verb.
Because the second clause, and I want you, what's your name, Mr. Ahmed?
No, أنا مصطفى.
Mr. Mustafa. Yeah, باشمهندس Mustafa. You need to speak correctly now because you say because the other clause not have, because the other clause doesn't have. Okay? احنا خلاص
Okay.
خدنا القاعدة بقى، مش احنا خدناها صح، نقولها صح بقى.
تمام، حاضر.
Okay. So this is here incorrect because it should be unless he or she finishes the education requirements. مش كده؟ Number 4, while most students turn the assignment in on time, comma, if you asked for an extension. كده؟ What do you think? Guys, are we all here? Are we all here?
I have doubt about few. Few can be considered as a subject.
Of course, of course.
So,
a few
yeah,
can be a
that's
subject,
correct.
noun phrase. Can be a noun phrase, of course. So it's correct. I will take you wherever need to go to complete the registration. What do you think?
Incorrect.
Incorrect. How can I make it correct? Somebody is doing something on the screen. Okay, how can I make it correct?
Whenever you need.
Whenever you need. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Number 6, I will wait here in the airport with you whether the plane leaves on time or not.
Correct.
Correct. Subject verb, connector subject verb. Providing the envelope is postmarked by Friday, comma, your application still acceptable.
Correct.
Try again. Look again. It's incorrect. How can I make it correct? What is the error here? Your application is still acceptable. Okay, it needs here a verb. The other clause doesn't have a verb. Your application still acceptable, no verb. Okay, good, clear? Number 8, as the nursery already explained, all visitors must leave. What do you think of this sentence? Number 8, correct or incorrect?
Incorrect.
Incorrect. Why? What's missing?
Comma.
Comma. Thank you very much. This exam will be more difficult than usual in that it covers 2 chapters instead of 1.
Correct.
Correct. We have here a subject verb. This exam will be in that, which is the connector, and then a subject verb it covers, so it's correct. Though snow had been falling all day long, comma, everyone got to the church on time.
Correct.
Correct. Now the last thing we'll do today, okay, that's enough. That's enough for today. Let's do them next time because otherwise we will break so much time needed. And most of what we will do next time is answering these questions on skills 1 through 8. So that's enough for today. See you tomorrow, inshallah, at the same time. Thank you very much for showing up. Thank you very much for your participation. And again, stay home, stay safe. May Allah preserve you all. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. Any questions before we leave? Any questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Yalla, assalamu alaikum.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.